Good morning, everybody. Welcome, 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 welcome. Well, it's Snow Day Sabbath. Snow Day Sabbath today. It is Sunday, and we're not in church. We are wherever you are. You're at home. Maybe it's some of you are still sleeping. I know I've got a little man. He just now come up from downstairs, and he's been sleeping. Sounds like he's got a little bit of a sniffle from playing out in the snow yesterday, and it's super cold. But he had a lot of fun, made a lot of YouTube content, didn't you, buddy? Yeah, had a lot of fun out there doing things. So Mr. London, he was enjoying himself, and his brother Landry went out there with him for a little bit too. And everybody's just having a good time out here. Well, from the looks of things, there's a few big flurries that are still coming down. I see one or two, but thankfully we didn't get the big amount. Well, I say thankfully. I would rather have had the big amount of snow than what ended up happening. It turned to sleet. The sleet line pushed further north than what they expected. And this is what I've always said, guys. You'll find out what you get. And if there's ever been a time that you need to settle in on that fact, you'll get what you get when you get it. I'm sure there are some of you that are this morning. I'm going to turn this just a smidge. Hang on just a second, folks. I'm sure that there are some of you that you're just a little disappointed this morning, and I guess rightfully so. They've been pushing this big apocalypse and all this, and we've had way worse snows than this, way more in my lifetime, and they had told us, hey, this could be historic. Well, guess what? It's not historic, not even close. But they definitely got people to stay home, and they probably still do. I'm sure the roads are not the greatest, especially when you have a layer of sleet and snow on top of that. So no doubt getting out and about is probably not your best idea. But we're thankful that that the Lord has kept us together. And I've had a really interesting time. This is our first time ever having a wood burner, and I wanted just to save a couple bucks and to try it, and with no better time than some of the coldest temperatures of the year, and decided to go ahead and just go fully wood burner. So we have not turned on our home air one time. And it's been staying, well, the kids really are going to love this. It's been staying around 6, 7 upstairs and downstairs, which is where all the kids' habitat is. They inhabit. That's probably a better word. But anyway, where the kids are at, it's been staying 70, 71, 72 degrees. That's where the wood burner is actually at. So it's staying super duper cozy, and it's been pretty awesome. Last night was pretty cool. Had one of my dear brothers owns one of the finest eating establishments that I think has ever been put on the planet Earth. And he brought me last night. We ordered some food from his place, and he was out and about and wanting to make deliveries. And I found out about that, and I certainly would never expect it at all, but he was going anyway. I'm like, well, man, if you're here, I'd like to make it worth your while, and I'll order too. And several of us did, and up and down our road, ordered some good food, and he just dropped it off. Man, last night I had the best boneless wings I've ever had in my whole entire life. I mean, by far. And there's not even a close second. Like, absolutely hit the ball out of the park. Had incredible boneless wings. Had the best burger I've ever had in my entire lifetime last night. Absolutely incredible. There's just so many things I could say about that. I absolutely just enjoyed last night so much. But we had a potato soup. If you like soup and you ever see that they have it, I'm telling you, it is absolutely a game changer. And I'm going to get this exactly right because I misquoted him a couple of times last night. It is called I'm pretty sure that I know what it is, but I want to be safe. It's the Sweet and Sassy. There it is. Sweet and Sassy Treats, owned by Chuck and Sonia Pierman. The best. Nothing in Cape touches them. No one. There's no one in Cape. There's no one in Cape. There's nobody touches them. I don't care how good your burger is that you've had. if it's not him that cooked it, it's garbage. You can throw it away. Absolutely, like hands down, the incredible experience last night. I cannot tell you how great it was. Anyway, I actually did a full food review, and I'm going to edit it, I think, and even post it because it was really, really, really good. But anyway, God bless you guys. So glad that you guys are here with us this morning, and I'm going to switch over here really fast. And I've got in the background, I don't know if you can hear it or not, but I love in the morning just some good Christian light jazz. Just no words, just the music. And absolutely incredible to just wake up slowly. Oh, there's more snow coming. It's snowing the bigger, buddy. But I love to get the day started with that. And I'm playing it for a reason. The reason kind of has to do with what we're talking about here this morning. I'm going to look and see if I can see who is with me this morning. Can I see? I believe I can. It's not running the fastest, but that's okay. There we go. Morning, Anthony, Astrid, Vicky, Nana, Patty. Oh, wonderful, wonderful, wonderful. Love it. Yes, Christian Ambience on YouTube. Absolutely love it. Absolutely love it. 10 out of 10. Just relaxing, and that's what kind of the theme of today. That's what we're going to talk about this morning. I don't have my father-in-law with me. Sorry. He will be with me from now on when we have these morning devotionals, because we've decided we're going to keep on doing them. We love doing them. So every morning we've got a name that we're going to call it, and it's the check-in. It's what we're going to call it. And so we will be checking in with you every morning. We'll have some great things to cover, some topics to cover. Will Hubbs, good morning. Jamie and Jesse Myers, good morning. I see you guys now. I can actually see what's going on here. So I'm going to be going live again at 11 o'clock. This is just our morning devotional. It's a little bit later today, but I wanted to hop into it, and I think it's super duper important. There's something about a snow day that just feels like a divine interruption. You know what I mean? There's something about a snow day. Your plans shift. Your schedules, they stall. The roads close down. Calendars get crossed out. But biblically, interruption is often is an invitation. And so today I want to talk about the beauty of how to handle today. Don't stress. Don't get worried. Don't freak out. I'm going to give you a few little insights on just how to enjoy this morning. First of all, I will preface this by saying, be the spark. Rocking a cup of coffee this morning. Seeing the snow out the window. There's a wood fire burning in the wood burner downstairs. Sending warm, just wrap your arms around you, heat. You feel so, it's one of those moments where you set your environment. Wherever it is that you are, create that environment of enjoyment. God has a very long history of using stillness to speak louder than activity. There's something that God can use in the stillness that speaks louder than activity. Psalms 46:10, it says, "Be still and know that I am God." That word doesn't mean silent as much as it means stop striving. So it's saying drop your grip. Let go of the pressure to produce. Because there's always pressure to produce, right? You need to make more money or do this or make this happen or make that happen. I need to be present at this place and present at that place, and just like this nonstop. Good morning, Sister Sandy. I see you on here too. It's this nonstop I've got to do this. I've got to produce. I've got to show up. I've got to be there. I've got to do there. And there's this constant strain that's on your life, and there's a pressure to produce. There's a pressure to do this or to do that. There's a constant pressure. But snow has a way of forcing what Scripture has always invited. I believe God's been calling you into a stillness, but we're working ourselves to death about it. We don't know how to be still. And today, you're forced to be still. This is a God thing. No, we're not in service right now. We're not in church right now together as a physical gathering. But I believe we could come together in an understanding. How about that? I can offer you that. Because I think I know that God has that for us today, to come together in understanding, come together in a revelation. He's saying, stop. Stop striving. Stop trying to perform. Stop trying to overachieve and overthink and overanalyze. God has a way of forcing what Scripture always has been inviting you to do. Slowness, quiet, pause. And if we're honest, most of us, that we don't know how to do that unless something makes us. Come on, be honest. We don't know how to slow down unless we're forced to. Today, you're forced to. And I believe that it may just be an opportunity for all of us as a culture to just stop. If you needed today, why don't you type in the chat, I needed this today. I did. I needed a day to just turn on my jazz music, turn on my worship music, get my hot cup of coffee, get my favorite snack, and just stop. Put that in the chat. If today, say, I needed this today. I needed this snow day. I needed this stillness. I needed this. I did, because God maybe has been trying to get me to do this all along, and I just haven't been doing it. And today, I was forced to do it. Exodus 16, when God fed Israel with manna in the wilderness, he didn't allow them to gather. Yes, he didn't allow them to gather for the future. When he had them gather manna, they had to gather just for that day. They had to live day by day. They had to trust day by day. They had to rest day by day. The rhythm wasn't hurry and store and strive. It was gather what you need and then stop. Gather what you need and then rest. Gather what you need, because more will come tomorrow, but stop. God was teaching them a pace before he ever gave them a promise. God was teaching them a pace before he ever gave them a promise. He was teaching them. You are so worried about days that aren't even here yet. You are so freaking out about things that they're not even in your radar. They're not, you couldn't, hey, if your life was a gun and you were aiming at it, you wouldn't even be able to see where it is. That's how far the shot is that you're worrying about. It's not even close enough for you to hit. Why are you worrying about it? I needed this. Amen. And I'm going to talk, Astrid, I was just reading your comment. I know as Christians we have our Jesus work cut out for us. The world has turned upside down. At 11 o'clock, I'm going to talk about Revelation 5, and it's going to bring some insight that kind of touches base on that. Sister Sandy made sausage, English muffins. Oh, isn't that wonderful? You're just stopping and enjoying your day. A forced Sabbath. That's what he was teaching the children of Israel. He gave them a pace. Before he gives you a promise, he'll teach you a pace. If he can't get you on the right pace, it's going to be hard to align you with the promise. And if he does, you may even miss it. Because if you don't learn how to rest in the wilderness, you'll never know how to rest in the promised land. If you don't know how to rest in the wilderness, if you don't understand the pace of heaven in the wilderness, then how in the world are you ever going to do it whenever you're in the promised land? This snow it's not a setback. It's a forced Sabbath. Sabbath was never about a day off. It was about remembering who God is and stop doing. You remember it when you stop doing. You're just stopping and thinking about who God is, and you're just stopping. That's what the snow day Sabbath is all about. It's you having to stop. It's you having to yield. It's you having to rest your mind. So I encourage you to, and I'm going to give you some more tips, but don't scroll as much today. Just have some time where you're sitting on a chair looking at a wall and just resting and knowing that God is good. Deuteronomy 5:15, remember that you were slaves in Egypt and the Lord brought you out. Therefore, the Lord commands you to observe the Sabbath. Sabbath was a declaration. It was saying, I'm not a slave to production anymore. He was telling them slaves don't get days off. They have to work nonstop at the hand of their master. But what a Sabbath was for them was saying, I'm not a slave to production anymore. Sabbath reminded them every day that I'm not a slave. because we didn't get these days off whenever we were slaves. We didn't get this opportunity whenever we were bound by sin. This wasn't a day. That's why I believe that the Sunday Sabbath is so important, because it's a day to remember I'm not in sin anymore. I used to sleep in on Sundays, trying to get a hangover out of my system, do a little grocery shopping before the week. That's how I used to do it, but I was hungover, I was lost, I was depressed. Now I get up in the morning and I go to church. Well, why am I doing that? It is a statement that says I'm not bound to slavery anymore. I didn't go to church whenever I was in sin. I didn't care about the things of God. I didn't prioritize the things of God. It's making a statement. I'm not a slave to production. I'm not a slave to creating sin. I'm not a slave to that bondage. I'm not a slave to my alcoholism or my drug habits. I'm not a slave to that world anymore. It's a statement. It's a proclamation. I'm not enslaved to those things anymore. Many believers, they love God, but they still live like slaves to pace. Has your pace been slavery? Think about it. Have you been dominated by a pace that it's been hard to keep up with? You've been dominated by a pace that's just really hard, and you feel like even whenever you're supposed to be sitting down, your mind's running 1,000,000 miles an hour because you're a slave to pace. God's wanting to redo your pace. God's wanting to adjust your pace, slow things down, get you to acknowledge Him a little more in all of your ways, and He will make straight your paths, but you've got to slow down long enough to give Him an angle to work with. You've got to chill just a little bit and give God some room for Him to work with these things. It's a declaration. Slowing down, Sabbath is a declaration. I'm not a slave to production anymore. So when the weather slows us down, some people, they got irritated instead of reflective. That's what happens whenever you're a slave to production. You get irritated instead of being productive, instead of reflective. You become productive and irritated and aggravated. Well, I can't get nothing done in this. Well, now I wanted to go do this. Now I can't. Well, I plan on doing this. Now I can't even do any of that. And you're irritated. You're a slave to pace, brother. Sister, you're a slave to pace. You need to slow this. God is slowing you down. This is not the weather acting crazy. This is God slowing you down. You have got to slow down. The weather's making you do it, which means now you don't need to be irritated. You reflect. But what if this is an invitation to listen? What if this is an invitation to linger? What if this is an invitation to let your home breathe for a second? Let your home breathe. It's been nonstop. Everybody's going here and there. There's games, there's work, there's expectations, there's this, there's that. It's nonstop. It's dropping kids off at school. It's picking kids up from school. It's running to the grocery store. It's running here. It's running there. It's getting all this stuff done. We ran real hard getting ready for this storm, and you know what we did? We ran hard because we planned on just being home. How many times do we prepare just to sit and reflect? Think about it. Think about it. When would we ever do something like this? And we should, but we don't, because we're slaves to pace. You got to just let your home breathe. Have all the family in it. Be there with your family. Just relax and breathe, and don't do more. Be present. Let meals take their time. We were talking about that yesterday. Like the temperature in our home you can really tell whenever you're using a wood burner. It's different than whenever you're using an HVAC system, because like you can tell when it needs your attention, and you can tell like whenever Carrie began to cook, the home was never warmer. And as that to me was beautiful, because as she began to cook our meal, it began to fill the house up, and you could literally watch the temperature of the home change as Carrie began to slowly cook the soup. She cooked a taco soup last night, and she slowly cooked the children's, she made, we had some cattle beef, and she took the beef, she defrosted it and set it all out and let it, unthaw. And she cooked their meal, and the skillets are going, and all of this and the simmering and all that. And literally the temperature of the home, we watched it just begin to raise several degrees. She slowed down. Things slowed down. We ate a great meal. And then I had a delivery come with some phenomenal food last night. But Luke 10:39, Mary sat at the Lord's feet and listened, while Martha hurried While Martha was busy and slave to pace, Jesus is right there, and she's a slave to her pace. She couldn't stop it for anything. Jesus didn't rebuke cooking. He rebuked anxious cooking. How many times are you just throwing something together? How many times are you just as fast as you can opening up lids and shaking this and pouring that and spilling this and doing, because everything about you, what you do is just anxious. There's no love in what you're doing. It's just trying to execute something so people don't get hungry, execute a meal. There's something holy about a meal that unfolds slowly. The soup simmering, the bread baking, and like I said, that house warming up, not just from heat, but from patience. Patience changing the dynamic of a home. Patience changing the way things unfold. And you're just letting the home rest, and you're just in a Sabbath mode. Today, we're in a Sabbath mode today. People are slow. Our people are slow to get up. They're just taking their time. Dad's not rushing them. Mom's not rushing them. You know, even on a Sunday, we rush. We've got to hurry up and get to the 9:45 and get to the 11. And I love gathering, but I don't want to rush when we do it. I want us to enjoy ourselves. I want us to really capture what it's about. It's about peace and relaxation and not all these over the top. We should do the rushing ahead of time so that when we get together, we're just with each other. Meals become more than meals. They become moments when we're not rushing to the next thing. When you're just slowing down, enjoying the way it tastes, enjoying the gathering together. It becomes a moment. It becomes something special. They become gatherings instead of just refueling pit stops. You know, it's an actual gathering. It's a moment that you just slow the world down and everybody gets on the same page and you just slow it down. Dim the lights a little earlier. You know, just relax. Like right now, I'm just slowly starting the morning. I got some nice light music that I love to listen to. I'm playing. I've got a nice cup of coffee, which I'm going to have to get another one here in a minute. You know, so we're just slowly, building this up. You know, today we don't have service. We've canceled our in-person gatherings today. The sleet and the continuing falling snow. I just don't want no slipping and sliding, and I can do it right here. I'm in my home. Just gather here today and put this together. Just Psalms 127:2. He gives to his beloved even in their sleep. Evening time. Whenever you start to soften your evenings, you're telling your body what your spirit already needs to hear. It's okay to stop sooner. Candles, lamps, quiet lights, they're preaching a message to your nervous system that rest is allowed. Today, you need to be allowed to rest today. That's the smell of that brewing coffee, maybe that cinnamon roll in the oven. It's telling you to just rest. Some of you are eating your chia seed pudding, whatever it is that you have in the morning, whatever you like, hot tea. It's telling your body it's okay. It's preaching to your nervous system that it's time to rest. Today, I want you to have a snow day Sabbath where you rest, you have some hot cocoa, throw in some marshmallows. God designed day and night for a reason. We are the ones that blur the lines. We need to choose fewer plans and keep them simple. Acts 2:46 says they broke bread from house to house with gladness and sincerity of heart. The early church, they did not thrive in packed schedules. They thrived in shared homes. Coming to your home. I had the youth come over to my home, and I actually had a meeting tonight, had scheduled, which we've canceled, but I had a meeting planned tonight with our church elders, which are the spiritual leaders and fathers of our church, and to cast vision, which we will do. But to cast vision, I wanted them to come into my home. And we opened up our home for youth, and we're going to open up our home for Sunday school teachers, and open up our home of gathering of people, and we, have dinners, and opening up our homes just to come together. God did not just, give us this place for us. It's a place for our community, for us to bring our family in and bring them in as time goes on, and use this space appropriately, but not get to the point where it's a striving concept. It's just a moment to relax. It's a moment to, yes, sweet tea. Amen. Amen. I like coffee, not a fan of tea. I like good coffee too. It's good. It's good. And I slowly drink it. You can't, it's like coffee. Coffee's like life. You can't speed drink coffee. Look at us as a society. Now we've popularized iced coffee. Just one more thing you can just chug down real fast. Coffee used to be you couldn't go fast if you tried. If you drank it right, it's hot. You're supposed to sip it. No one wants to sip life anymore. Everybody wants to guzzle it. Everybody wants to just knock it down as fast as they possibly can. Nobody rests anymore. Nobody enjoys the pace anymore. We're slaves to pace. The early church, they thrived in shared homes, shared meals. You needed a break, Aaron. I'm telling you, Mr. Palmer, it's time to just take a minute, man. Take a minute. Just chill out for a second. Warm up those bones. I remember I was talking to this, I can't remember who it was, but she was talking about when her kids were little, and she said that when they came in, I always had a warm tub. It was a cool tub first. She had a cool tub that she put their feet in, and then she'd take them out of the cool tub and put it into the warm tub, so that way it would warm them up. And that's one of the things when they come in from playing outside. She always had a warm tub of water for them to put their feet in, and then she'd give them a hot cocoa, and that's how she would welcome her kids back in from playing outside. Aaron, you ought to have Jenny do that. Get you a nice warm tub for your feet to soak in and just relax, and it supposedly warmed your whole body whenever you did that. But the early church, they thrived in a slower moment. Even though there's lots going on, winter, it reminds us the house is not just where we sleep, it's where we connect. When we gather, when peace settles, that's what a home's really about. It's not just a place you come and sleep and eat your meals and use the restroom. It's a place where peace settles. It's where we gather. It's where we connect. You don't have to fill every day for it to be meaningful. You don't have to fill it up with all kinds of things and schedules and going here and going there and doing all that. You don't have to do that for it to be meaningful. You've got to do work that nurtures, not drains. You've got to do work that nurtures, not drains. You've got to put in the right perspective Ecclesiastes 3:13. Hang on, London's out. His kid's outside. Hang on, he's knocking on the door. Hang on, just a second. What you doing, buddy? Okay. Oh my gosh, this kid. London was outside knocking on the door. He did not need in. He just needed to let me know he was out there. I love that guy. Ecclesiastes 3:13. It's a gift of God to eat, drink, and find satisfaction in one's labor. There's a difference between rushed work and restorative work. When you make something, when you bake something, for bread, it's one of the things I was thinking of is you're taking something small, baking a loaf of bread, fixing something that's, it's not huge, but it's meticulous. It's small. You're tidying up one drawer, reading by a window. These aren't wasted tasks. The things that you're not wasting your time doing these little things. It's kind of like a soul. The soul level resets. When you just slow down, I had a rip in this jean, and I fixed the little rip, I fixed the little tear, I fixed the little this, I fixed the little that. It's meaningful. It's restorative. Polish a shoe, do something, just something small, nothing big, just a little thing, just not this big, huge task list that needs to be done. Rest is a great form of self-care, taking care of yourself. Mark 6:31 says, "Come away by yourselves to a quiet place and rest a while." Jesus, he said this to the people who were doing ministry. He didn't say to do more. He said to step away. Rest isn't laziness. Rest is preparation. Rest is trust in God. You're going to change your name to work. Maybe you should change your name to Rest. That would be a cool name change. Rest is trust. Rest is saying, God can run the world without my constant motion. It's not going to fall apart if I stop. If your heart's been craving a slower winter, this snow may not be an inconvenience. It may be mercy. It may be an invitation for your home to become what God's always intended it to be, a place of warmth, nourishment, peace for you and the ones you love. Not because you filled it with activity, but because you filled it with presence. Slow down. Just slow down. Get to it when you get to it. Don't wear yourself out. Just rest. We needed this. We needed this. 100%. I love that, London, I let him just go out when he wants to go out. He wants to go. He knows how to suit up. He's suited up. He's in his warm gear, and he's just out there. Snow's still falling, by the way. Out here on County Line Road, snow is still coming down. They said by 8 o'clock, it'd slow down. No, it's still going. So whatever you're seeing on the news, with respect to what they do, we're going to get what we get. And we have to manage that and steward what we get. So I'm thankful for that. Well, I'm thankful for you guys coming and joining me here just a little bit. And enjoy this snow day Sabbath. Slow things down. Turn on the peaceful music. Get the warm cup of coffee, which mine has now chilled. So we will not be drinking any more of that, which is just a little bit anyway. So it worked out good. But we're going to go refresh our coffee and I just love that thing. We've got electronic locks, Lyndon. Did you get it, buddy? Come here. Are you freezing?
Yes.
Where's your gloves?
They're right here.
That's not where they go. Here's Mr. London.
I just went in the snow.
You just went in the snow?
Yeah.
Tell the people, what did you think about it?
It was great.
Yeah? You have fun?
Yeah.
Yeah? What's the temperature like out there?
It's like 0 degrees. It feels like that.
It feels like it's 0 degrees out there?
Yeah. Actually, no. It feels like it's 100 degrees.
Okay, that's a lie.
No, it does. I'm serious. It's really cold.
Okay, 100 degrees is the opposite of really cold. 100 degrees. Are your hands cold? Do we need to get you new gloves?
Yeah, but these are...
All right, we'll get you some new gloves.
My hands are really...
You need to go wipe your nose.
Okay.
You go get you a Kleenex, dude. Don't wipe it with your hand. Use a Kleenex. You just grab a piece of toilet paper. There's Kleenex everywhere. Right there. Right here. Lauren, help me. All right, guys. Love you. We will see you at 11 o'clock.